We're going to get started. So Stephanie, do you need any assistance getting up to the campus?
No, I don't think so.
While Stephanie is going up there, I'll give you a little bit of a background. Stephanie is able to step into 5D for a very long period of time. And we get about 15 minutes or so in a 6-dimensional capacity, which is very intense. It uses a lot of resources. And I look at length, width, height, time, space. What you may know of dimensions from a spiritual perspective is not going to match up with my language here. And that's okay. But when I talk about 5D, fifth dimensions, length, width, height, time, space. And sometimes we get the opportunity to go into 6D through our consciousness, which allows us to communicate with entities that are far beyond human density. And today we're going to be working with the Council of Nine. So Stephanie is not channeling the council. She has a seat at the table and is talking to them as if we were all in a conference room asking questions and interviewing them. So Stephanie will be very consciously aware, and any questions that you ask as we go, she'll be able to answer to the audience in a 3D way at the 3D level, and then tap back into the conscious awareness of that audience to help us understand who the Council of Nine are, what they do, what their purpose is, how they help humans, and so on. And so we did this a couple weeks ago, and we identified that they work with spirit guides. They typically don't work with humans, and we want to ask more questions to understand their role in our life. Stephanie, are you at the campus?
Almost. It feels a little blocked for me.
Enter into the campus, the 5D state.
Okay. I had to take some shit off before I went up.
And it was a little bit of my energy too. My energy was not ready.
Yeah, it was also mine. It was like I was taking off coats and backpacks and like stuff. Okay, I'm in the campus now.
From the campus, do you need to go up to 60 or can you stay at the campus?
I just need to go to the fortress.
Okay. And for those that are online that are new, the fortress is what I call this 6-dimension space that I have access to. So we have the black room, which is 4D, the campus, which is 5D, and then the fortress is 6D. And these are all places where I can connect to entities of this earth, not of this earth, specialists from all over the galaxy. But it's the levels of density that they reside at. So Stephanie is stepping up to the 6th dimension, and we get about 15 minutes up there because it requires a lot of resources.
Okay, I'm there.
And now we want to connect with the Council of Nine. She's not channeling, it's not going through her as if she were a straw. She's having a seat at the table, and she's here and there at the same time. Do they have any messages for us first before I begin asking questions?
It's just like a bunch of energy came in and they said we're here.
So one of the questions is a question that Chloe asked, and she asked if this is the same Council of Nine that is mentioned in the Law of One Ra transcripts. Are they the same, or is this a different group?
They said that it's them, but it's like one side of them. Like in a cube, there's different sides. So it's almost like it's one side of them.
Do they have, like in a cube, or arbitrarily pick a number, like 6 facets of who they are and what they do? Is one side working with spirit guides and then say 5 other functions?
Yeah.
Are we able to ask what those other functions are?
He said that it almost like doesn't pertain to us, the other sides.
To us as in Annie and Stephanie, or us as in humanity?
Humanity, but there's another side that's like peeking. They're like, this side maybe.
And so if they are the council that is mentioned in the Law of One and Ra, that doesn't seem to align with my mission. So how are they related or involved in my mission compared to those that channeled Ra and the Law of One?
They said that your mission is to contact higher beings that people are aware of. So that's how it relates to your mission.
Can we expand on that?
It's like your mission is to connect to quote unquote celebrities in the realm.
And how does that help humans? How does that help humanity?
To help them remember that there is more than what they see or what there is.
And so if we go into the quote unquote celebrities, will there be other councils that come forward to communicate with me?
No, not councils, but the other entities.
Someone had asked a question about the Galactic Federation. Like, is this council connected to the Galactic Federation, and are they the same?
No, they are not the same.
Is the Galactic Federation something that I need to be concerned with or connected with, or is that separate from my mission?
That is separate from your mission, but it's like the Galactic Federation is names that people put to it because they don't understand what they're connecting to, and it's on a lower dimension. And a lot of times it's their spirit guides.
So it's so let's talk about spirit guides, because that's also a question that I've seen in many of my videos is, does everyone have a spirit guide?
Yes. Everyone has a curated team.
And these spirit guides, so I've in reading Dolores Cannon, there frequently this differentiation between spirit friends, spirit guides, spirit teachers.
Yes.
This council had mentioned that they oversee the spirit guides.
Right. Because teachers is like it's another level. It's like everyone has guides, but then teachers can come in and out versus guides that are there like cheerleaders.
And I'm going to repeat something that you said, Angela had asked. So what Stephanie had said is everyone has a curated team, a specialized hand-picked team for their spiritual oversight. And where do the spirit guides train? Where is their training?
It's up in the 60. It's like on their plane.
And so there's an island, there's a vision that I've had of this ship going to this island, and I'm both on the ship and I'm both welcoming them to the island. Do they know what that is that I've been seeing?
That's like it's like a camp. It's not the main arena or where they train, but it's like a camp.
Okay. And what is my involvement with that? Because in welcoming them, it's like I run this island as if I were Alina Rourke on Fantasy Island.
It's like you're teaching them, right?
That's what it feels like, that I'm overseeing the teachers of all of these energies that are coming onto the island to train. I watch this happen. So I'm standing there and I'm welcoming them all in. I follow them up the pathway into this very large training. In human terms, I would call it like a training building, but it's more like a biosphere.
It's
and
like you're
training.
them on human density. You're there to show them what human density is and what kind of things they would need help with.
And is this a specialized group that's going to this island, or is it like a CEU for a licensed professional where they're just additional training?
Yeah, it's additional training.
Their purpose of coming to me and wanting to share this with the audience, how can this help the people on TikTok or help the audience viewers in future recordings of this interview?
It's to help them connect more with their spirit guides. The energy that they receive through them is the same energy that they get through their spirit guides. So when they connect to them, it feels familiar.
Why do some people feel like they have one or see one, and then others feel like they have an entourage? Why is it that it's not the same number for everybody?
It just depends what's comfortable for them. But there is a group. And to some people, it may seem like it's different personalities.
And why does it come in a human shape for some, and for me, mine are not human? They're not, they're just wispy energies. They're there, but there's no physical density to them. And yet other people say, oh yeah, I see my spirit guide. They look like this, they're wearing this robe, they have these things, and it's unique, so uniquely, seems to be uniquely different for everybody. Why is that?
They present themselves to what is comfortable for that person's mind.
So would that mean that as the person becomes more comfortable in the unmeasurable, non-tangible world, that they may change how they see their own spirit guides?
Yes. It could change, it could not. It just depends on how comfortable they are with it. Because the spirit guides want to be available to them.
And what are things that we can ask of our spirit guides? Can we ask them to help us win the lottery, or assist us with something? What are the limits in the rules with working with our spirit guides?
They can assist to help walk the path that you were aligned to walk, the path that you chose before you went to Earth, to remind you of what your mission is. When it comes to like money and lottery and things like that, that's earthly things that they do not touch. They just make sure that your mission is going to be complete and guide you on that path. They are also there to comfort.
And I want to come back to the comfort. I want to, Angela asked if different spirit guides have different sizes, like are some the size of a mouse and some the size of a planet? Are they very big, like as a galaxy? Or is that how we're perceiving them?
Yeah, it's how you're perceiving them. They are from 6D, so they can shift sh- any like shift shape any way that's needed of them.
Mm-hmm. And what is their natural, eh, without modifying for our comfort, how do they present naturally and organically in their 6D state?
I wouldn't even be able to comprehend it. I don't think we would be able to. It's like they try to show me and I just see like glitches because I can't perceive it.
Mm. And that's understandable. Here's a question that Brandy Leslie asked. How do you know for sure that it's a spirit guide versus like an entity visiting and hanging out with you? How can we tell the difference?
They would feel familiar. They would feel loving, and it would feel like they were there for your best interest.
Is there a test that we can do or a qualifier to know that it's a spirit guide? Is there
You
something
can
that we can do to say, okay, yes, we got the green light?
you ask them who they are, every entity has to reveal themselves. And it's almost like even though they reveal themselves, you can still, as human, you have the power to interpret it any way too. But you have to feel it, not use your mind.
So Yvette asked, how do we get to know or access our spirit guide? How how can we develop a relationship with them?
And they said that you have to know who is speaking in your head. Is it you or is it your guide? Listen, ask questions, and learn to differentiate the voices. Not all voices are yours.
And how can we tell the difference? What is for a beginner starting a relationship with their spirit guides or starting to acknowledge, how can they develop the different voices in their head?
When something comes in and you don't know where it came from, that's how you know it's not yours.
So someone asked if they get annoyed when you ask for multiple things, like can you over ask of your spirit guides?
No, if they cannot help, it just won't happen. Or you can hear an alternative, or they'll guide you to an alternative.
Where do the spirit guides come from? Like who are they? When do they come in? Where do they come from?
They are, it's like they are a dedicated army.
Like, do they sign up for it and say, oh, I want to, like in the military, you can sign up and say, I want to go to Japan or I want to go to Korea. Can you sign up and say, I want to be a spirit guide for the human race?
Yeah, yeah, it is on a sign up basis, but they are from the sixth dimension, so it's almost like it's a certain race or a certain, yeah, I guess species that does it, and then they sign up for it.
And do they sign up for specific people or they just sign up and it's whoever they get assigned to?
Yeah, whoever they get assigned to.
And when our lifetimes are over, do they stay with us through multiple lifetimes or do they come in for one lifetime and they're like, okay, great, check the box, I'm going back to doing what I was doing before?
They stay with you until the full complete mission is complete.
And so Danielle had made a comment about coming to her in her dreams. Is there a difference between our waking state and our dream state when they communicate with us?
It's easier to communicate in the dream state. It's easier for our mind to perceive it. It's still them, but it's just easy. Like the communication is clear in the dream state.
Yeah, but Brandy said, they won't just say it outright, I am your spirit guide. It has to, I'm assuming it has to come from some type of a knowing within us.
Exactly. They're not just going to say it.
And so Allie made a comment. She said, I was taught to always say, I only want to speak to the high vibrational beings from my I'm guessing high good, highest good. When we say, I only want to communicate with the highest vibrational beings, my assumption would be that that would be spirit guides plus a variable plus a, that's a, it's a very long
It's a,
list.
it's a very broad statement, too, because technically every entity is higher than you.
Well, this is true.
So you have to be very specific. You could say for my highest good.
And what does that mean? So, in spiritual circles, you'll hear, I want to speak to the highest vibrational for my highest good. What else could that encompass?
Teachers, prophets, other people that can also step in to help you.
Another question came in. Do they serve multiple people at once or one single assignment?
One assignment.
Angela asked, are spirit guides the same as what we call the soul? Are they made up of the same thing?
They are not the same. The soul is yours. Spirit guides are a different entity.
So for those that are struggling to connect with their spirit guides, what can the council suggest or offer to help people develop that relationship?
Clear their minds, clear their expectations, and feel for the knowing. It's what you always say, Annie, you have to move the mind.
Mm.
And for that person, it's like their mind's there. It's blocked. It's in the way. They can't get through.
And is that because of belief systems, or is that can trauma block us? Is it religious beliefs? What would cause someone to have interference with the connection?
All those things that you said can do it. It can dirty the connection, so to say. But as long as they move the mind, they can still have those inherent. It's mostly the mind. But all those things also cause the mind to be there.
Now, I want to go into some of those moments when I've heard, for the most part, when my spirit guides are communicating with me, it's this knowing. It's just the knowing comes in, like the message was received. But sometimes I get a very clear auditory voice. Why is it that at different times in my life, it's shifted in how I receive that connection?
It's almost like how important that message was, or how pivotal it was for you to receive.
And that is true. The times when it has been very clear auditory, they were landmarks in my life. They were sliding glass door moments, or sliding door moments rather, in my life. And it would be very clear. And I wanna address, Yvette had asked, how do you move the mind? And I want to answer that outside of the council, is that as you follow my lives, the more you learn, the more you witness, the more you experience, the safer it is for your mind to step out of the way and let the other elements of who you are lead. So if you want to call soul, spirit, whatever that may be, the more opportunities that you present to your mind to show your mind that there is more out there and it's safe to explore with curiosity, the more access your mind will allow to connect with spirit guides and other entities that are here to help. But we have to still have autonomy. Our mind still has to acknowledge things in connecting with things outside of our physical reality. We need to develop trust to both be open, but not gullible, vulnerable, and susceptible. We want to walk that fence in collecting information like a researcher, but not taking it as absolute fact and ignoring what's in front of us for reality.
It was also, like you said before, expanding the mind. And what I saw was they're almost like the first level of when you expand it. It's like the first connection. That's why they're so easily available.
And with the Council of Nine coming forward now, how else can they help us evolve and remember who we are? Is there anything that they can share with us to bring more awareness into who we are and what we're meant to be?
They said they can do that with sharing energy because it's not about the right words, it's about feeling it.
Are
It's
they
not,
able to send energy to the audience for the audience to feel?
yeah. Yeah, I can help push it out. I'm seeing it as like a blue.
Feeling waves of energy coming across my face.
Yeah, it's like that jelly-like energy.
Mhm.
Like very calming.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I'm stepping into vortex energy and I'm feeling the energy swirl in front of me. And my portion of experience is one of the where it's swiping across like a spiral. And I'm feeling the energy just cross past my face. It's like moving past my ear.
They said that this is the same energy you would feel from your spirit guides.
So when we want to clear blocks, can we ask our spirit guides to clear blocks? Can we say, hey, I feel like there's a block. Can you move that for me? Or is it, can you assist me in moving it myself?
Yeah, it's like it depends what type of block it is.
Mhm.
If it's like trauma and caused by an experience, they can help to walk you through it to block it, but they can't just go poof, it's gone.
Yeah, no magic wand.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's time for me to come down.
Yeah. Do we need to disconnect or just drop down in dimension?
I think disconnect.
Okay.
Yeah. I can drop down to the black room.
Yeah. So I want to thank them for coming forward today. I still feel the energy moving across me. So where Stephanie is right now, for those that are watching on TikTok, is she's dropped down to a fourth dimensional holding space. Because going from 6D to 5D to 4D to 3D is going to, it feels like we're taking a crash test dummy into a vehicle, into a brick wall. We come down slowly so that her body can acclimate from the lighter density to the heavier density that we know is 3D. And I know it sounds a little bit strange online if you've never watched my lives, but if you come up for a demo, and in that demonstration, if you in one of the paid demonstrations, I take you to the higher levels. Your first time, you get a little bit lightheaded, like there's this quantum jet lag coming back because it's much more uncomfortable to go from a light density to a heavy density than it is to go from a heavy density to a light density. And especially when you go from 6D, we have to take time to come back so that the body can adjust to the intake of energy coming in. So we're going to hang out here in 4D with Stephanie. She's at the black room. We can ask questions. If there's questions that are unanswered or that are just coming up to you now, I can take those questions and hold on to them until we do this again. Did it feel different, Stephanie, this time going up versus the other times?
Just because it was a little heavier going up there at first.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, that was my shit. I didn't have a good morning.
Um,
Yeah. You can't be human going up there.
yeah. Yeah, I've been there too. Get that. Yeah, if it's your first time watching my lives, being lightheaded is a very typical response because I'm an intensifier. So as I receive energy, I'm intensifying it, and me being me, sharing it with the audience. Those that don't have the practice in my lives will feel it a little bit more intensely at the beginning. Why is it called the Council of Nine? That's a great question. We asked that the last time Stephanie and I were up. And 9 is not necessarily the designator of the number of seats at the table, so to speak. It's like imagine at a campus, academic campus, building 3 may be the medical building. In this case, 9 relates to leadership, and they are the leaders of the spirit guide. So the Council of 9, we only have one Council of 9 per planet, per species. So this is the Council of 9 that oversees Earth, and they train the spirit guides that are assigned to us to aid us in our journey here. So the Council of 9 it really doesn't have to do with the number of entities, but more of the designation of their role of leadership. And if you're new, if you're brand new, make sure you're following my picture up there in the corner, and sign up for the newsletter so that you can see which lives are coming up.